My name is Benny McCann, and I am the National Director for Public Sector Solutions here at Sentinel Technologies.
And I'm Peter Hiltz. I'm the Superintendent of Schools in School District 49, which is on the eastern side of Colorado Springs.
How does Sentinel's management of IT operations enable the district, and you specifically, the superintendent, to focus on your purpose?
In District 49, we are very clear that our true north is learning. We want to help students learn. We want them to develop, grow, and then launch to success. Whatever kind of success they define. That could be going on to college, that could be starting a business, serving in the military or ministry. Whatever success means to them, we want to launch them with vigor toward that success. And what we really appreciate about Sentinel is that you also understand our purpose. I've appreciated our work with you to develop an internship program because you also want to see people grow and develop and prepare for meaningful careers. And so our shared commitment to developing people, for you in the business sense, for us in the educational sense, that's a very strong, coherent partnership.
What factors influenced the decision-making process for D49 initially to go to an outsourcing model?
So as a growing school district on the eastern part of Colorado Springs, we recognized in around 2010 that we were going to grow faster than our technical capacity could keep up. And rather than trying to go out and become experts at hiring technicians and engineers and system architects, we decided to find an outsourced partner who was already great at all that.
We knew from the very beginning that the district was thinking long-term or had a long-term vision for how they wanted IT support, for how they wanted their district to be supported. We also noticed that you guys had a company that was in there before Sentinel and that there were scaling issues. And so it was hard at the beginning because when you looked at Sentinel, we had a very different managed services model than what you were used to. But we also knew that if you were patient with us and if we were patient with you guys, that it would be mutually beneficial for both organizations and that partnership would blossom.
That's right. In 2000, District 49 had 6,000 students. In the current model, we have 30,000, and by 2050, we're going to have 50,000. So we're on a pretty significant growth trajectory. We needed a partner that we could count on to manage that growth with us and free us up to focus on what we do well, which is education, assessment, launching students to success. And so we were really excited to find in Sentinel a partner that not only understands school districts, but understands the unique opportunity and the vulnerability that a school district presents. And your expertise, your commitment to our purpose and our vision was really impactful to us.
How has the partnership and the improvements had an impact on the overall perception of the faculty, the students, and the overall commitment to excellence within IT?
You know, I came up in the generation where whoever was the most techie teacher ended up as the IT director. And so a lot of us were learning on the job. And that comes with a lot of familiarity, which is a good thing, but it also means that you're having to develop expertise. You don't come with it. And what we have appreciated about Sentinel is that the technicians and the analysts that you bring, the help desk folks, they come with expertise. That gives them a lot of credibility. And when your technical support team has credibility, that gives your teachers and students confidence. And so that pairing of credibility leading to confidence really sets us up to focus on the things that we're good at, which is instruction and assessment and launching students to success.
I know that in the beginning, it was a little bit difficult because of the way you guys structure zones. In the previous organization had a focus of just stationing people or techs in each of those zones. But with our model, it was a little bit different. So it took a while for the perception to shift because of meeting those different types of expectations, if you will. So can you elaborate now on how the district zones have now embraced the model that we now bring to the table?
So there was an era where a school principal or maybe a set of schools would have almost a sense of ownership of their tech support. And they only wanted to work with that person. And it was more about the person than about the skill set. And we have effectively transitioned away from a personal dependency toward a skill-based model.
Exactly.
And so the tech support that Sentinel provides is more just in time, and it's more expertise based. And so if we have an opportunity to rapidly deploy a bunch of devices, well, you've got people on your team that are really good at the provisioning and deployment. But if we have to go back and troubleshoot something with wireless access points or reconfigure a router or a switch, you've got people that are more expert in that area. And so what we do with your guidance is we flow to the task based on the expertise of the support person, not based on a location or based on this is the person that's always done it.
Excellent.
So Benny, in our partnership, it's really important for us to know, why are you confident that you're going to continue to be a great partner for District 49?
Why? That's a great question, Peter. When I look back at Sentinel's history, the one thing that I latch on to is our ability to deliver quality. I remember personally, if we can talk personal for a second, when I was making the decision to come on the Sentinel, one of the things that I looked at was the overall life cycle of services that we could provide and our ability to dive in when things got deep, if that makes sense. So I knew that early on that Sentinel, and their purpose to an extent, was to make sure that we took care of our customers, okay? And when you look at our longevity, I also looked at our longevity of working with Sentinel for years. It came down to our ability to adapt and evolve with technology. So when I put those two things together, our ability to service our customers, sort of with a white glove treatment, right? Making sure that we take care of them, and our ability to adapt and evolve with technology over time gives me no doubt that we'll be able to continue to service D49 for the long term.
And so you picked up on two things I really care about. As a superintendent, I absolutely demand high quality, high performance, but I know that what is high quality and high performance today will not be good enough 2 years from now. So the ability to grow and adapt, very important. You really hit on two keys for me.
So it's not just growing and adapting and evolving. Yesterday you learned a little bit about our mainstreaming process, right?
Yes, yeah.
So we're always continuously evaluating new technologies, but that doesn't always mean that they make it to mainstream.
Right.
So we're very careful about what we take to mainstream and how we introduce that to our customers.
Yep.